Free cash goes to everybody. It's not just going to MIT. And some of it this time around, a large chunk of it, went to paying the penalties for this civil case. So that's another use of free cash.
We address to Councilor Davis, Councilor Toomey, and Councilor Seidel. Somewhat of an educational question. What is free cash, and why does MIT get it and people in need of housing, food, jobs don't? Councilor Davis.
I'm sorry, I've heard this remark before, but I don't get it. Free cash is the amount of money that is left over after everything else is allocated, and it's kind of like our big savings fund. I know there's an allegation that that money has gone to MIT. I don't believe that that's the case. I think it's a convoluted approach to something or other, and somebody would have to explain that to me.
Well, this is maybe an opportunity for you to explain to the
I don't know what that is. Then the third part of it is.
I'll repeat the question. What is free cash, and why does MIT get it and people in need of housing, food, jobs don't?
As far as the other uses of free cash, this time around it was used to, sometimes it's used to sort of balance the budget. One thing it was used for was to keep the water rate stable so that no one was paying more for their water. It also was used to, it was also used so that the tax rate was not increased as much as it might have been. So the free cash is generally used, is in the background, and a little at a time it's used to stabilize the costs of ordinary people in the community. For the most part, that's what it is used for.
Thank you, Councilor Davis. Councilor Toomey.
Free cash, the city of Cambridge, I believe, has entered the fiscal year with approximately $102 million in free cash. As Councilor Davis said, it's sort of like a rainy day fund. It's actually a little snow out there right now. But the city of Cambridge, with $102 million, probably the entire 350 cities and towns in Massachusetts, the total of their free cash probably would not equal what the city of Cambridge has. The city of Cambridge is very fortunate now, because what that means is that the city of Cambridge, for several years now, consecutive years, we have a AAA bond rating. And that AAA bond rating allows the city to go out to borrow money to fund major capital projects, like we did at the main library, Cambridge Ridge and Latin, the Wall Memorial Athletic Facility. There's around $200 million that was just invested in that little area for all of our students, for all the public to enjoy the main library, the new water treatment plant, the community learning center, and the Cambridge Housing Authority going into the former police station. We're going to be renovating 4 elementary schools in the next years to accommodate the new innovation agenda. So with that free cash enables us to borrow at a lower rate to do those projects. As you all know, I'm also state representative. No other community in the state is performing the major capital improvement projects that we are doing in the city of Cambridge. So we are very fortunate to have that type of money for the free cash.
Thank you, Councilor.
That is, MIT is not benefiting from that free cash.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Seidel.
Well, I think you've heard a pretty good description of free cash. It's sort of the money that's left over after we do our collection of money, and that gets set aside, and it goes up and down depending on both on the tax rate and other fees that come into the city. It is, I don't know if it's a historic high, but there's a lot of money in the free cash account. I'm told it is a historic high. When it comes around time to do the property tax bills, sometimes a portion of free cash is used to cover part of that so that the rate the taxpayers pay is lower than what they would otherwise pay to cover the budget. And that's what happened this time, that's what happened before. On the MIT question, this question's been around for a while, and I don't know how any of that money covers MIT. I do remember that we talked a little bit about what happens when we use free cash to lower the tax impact on homeowners. And I remember that the city said you can't differentiate between taxpayers. So if you're going to use money, it applies to everybody. So if MIT is getting some sort of break, it's because the state law requires that the money used from free cash applies to everybody in that group of taxpayers equally. But I don't know that the actual accusation is an accurate one. Thank you.